The entire model of what we thought was possible with medical spas is being essentially turned on its head, because what we're seeing now is that rather than like in the old days, you'd have to go, find a building, you basically put down a 3 to 5 year lease, put down a big chunk of money to get it rebuilt and get ready, spending all your savings to do all this stuff, get a sign, hire staff, get phone systems installed, like all this stuff, right? And all these are, huge expenses that add up very quickly. Nowadays, you don't have to do any of that. You can use a software like ClickPractice that basically will comes with a website that you can customize very easily, have a website up and running, get your social media up, get your Google profile up, and basically start to either see people virtually or start to at least have some kind of contact with people, and basically start to build a customer base before you even have an office. We've had several members of our community that have done this successfully, where they basically started essentially through a website, through ClickPractice, right? Built a following, started selling skincare to the following. Then once they got enough people, went to a chiropractor and said, hey, can I rent a room in your office because it's medically zoned? And then basically started their own, med spa, or their own practice essentially in that room of the chiropractor, and basically working there on their own and having their own business where they had no, essentially all the autonomy. They basically get to make all the money they want to. There's no hospital administrator or anyone, above you saying, hey, you only get this much, or the hospital needs this much to survive, that kind of thing. You're actually getting paid for all the stuff you do and enjoying their practice because they get to define it. And all this stuff can be done in a reverse system now versus, in the past, it would have required, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So now is a great time for looking into aesthetics practice. The aesthetics business is growing like crazy. And with the addition of these new services onto the traditional aesthetic businesses, it is just giving it so much more reach and so much more power and bandwidth. And what happens is there's a lot of cross-selling that goes on. And so cross-selling is a fancy word, but it basically means when somebody comes in to buy product A, they end up also buying product B or C or D or all of them. And so what happens is that many times people may come into a med spa for an aesthetic treatment such as Botox, but then they find out like, oh, hey, by the way, you guys also treat headaches. I want to pay cash for headache treatments. Or they might find out like, hey, you guys also do hormone replacement. I want to do hormone replacement. But the same thing's happening the other way around. You have people that are coming in for weight loss who are like, oh, I want to lose weight loss. I'm interested in, one of these new medications, let's just semaglutide or something like this. But now I'm interested, like, okay, I'm also interested in Botox. I'm also interested in filler. I'm also interested in, PRP microneedling. I'm also interested in skincare. So a lot of cross-selling is happening, which really makes the businesses much stronger, more durable, because they literally have multiple groups of clients that come for different reasons, but they're also often buying alternative products and solutions, which makes their average customer value really, really high, which is great for your business. So if you are considering looking into aesthetics, I would say definitely look into aesthetics. There's ways that you can start with literally nothing like I described, just using a website and using a software to build your first, customer list, then renting an office, somewhere where it's, fairly cheap, keep your overhead low and build it from there. We've had several people do that, end up expanding to having multiple injectors underneath them, building huge practices just because they were smart about how they did that. And they figured out, the best way to get started is not to spend a lot of money or invest all their savings into a building or this kind of things, but to spend their time focused on giving the market what the market wants.